What is recommended in Eid prayers? The, first of all, that it is to be organized at an open area. And we said that this is not recommended, this is mandatory. So praying it in the masjid is not permissible. And among the things that are recommended is that this open space is outside the skirts of Medina, of the town itself, not within the village borders. But again, this is not something that is authentic. So any open space, yes, as far as you can get from the buildings is a good thing, but nowadays it might be a little bit uh, difficult. So this is not a must. We mentioned the point that Eid al-Adha being early and Eid al-Fitr being a bit delayed and late, and the reason behind that. Part of the sunnahs that a lot of the Muslims may that this is new for them is that in Eid al-Fitr, remember that this is the first day we do not fast after 29 or 30 days of Ramadan. So as an indication that we are not fasting at all, sunnah before you leave home to the Eid prayer is to eat dates, 3 or 5 dates. This is the sunnah. Why? So that no one would think that you're fasting, even if you don't feel like eating. You eat it because it's a sunnah. It's an indication, it's a sign that today is not a day of fasting. As for Eid al-Adha, the sunnah for you is not to eat anything until you slaughter your sheep and eat from its liver or from its meat, because this is what the Prophet used to do, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now this is easy to practice after Eid prayer. So in my case, what I do, I give the khutbah, I offer and the prayer, of course, greet the people, take an hour, and go to a special butcher's shop, and I already have designated my sacrifice. So the man immediately brings it, slaughters it, skins it, and gives me the meat. I immediately go home. The missus cooks some of the liver, and we take it. That's following the sunnah. Afterwards, you can have your breakfast as usual without any problem. But if you are slaughtering after Dhuhr prayer, or the following day, or the third day, this is inapplicable. You cannot do that. So therefore, this is a recommended sunnah for those who will slaughter immediately after the Eid prayer. Among the sunnah of Eid prayers is that you walk to the place of prayer, because the Prophet ﷺ did not take a ride. He used to walk. After Fajr prayer, he walked all the way to the open area, to the musalla, we call it in Arabic. And this is sunnah. It gives you time to reflect, to do your tasbih, to contemplate. Walking is a beautiful thing that is part of Islam. The more you make steps to the masjid, the higher your level in Jannah would be. The greater good deeds will be registered and bad deeds will be erased. Why? I can ride. Yes, but walking is healthier. Walking is giving you a chance to greet people, to give salam to people, to notice things that you cannot notice while driving. and it gives you time to contemplate, to think. So it's a very good thing to do. And unfortunately, most of our illnesses, I tell you about myself, the masjid is like few hundred meters away, yet we ride to it. The grocery shop is 150 meters away, we ride to it. And this style of laziness is the cause of most of our diseases: diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol levels, stress, uh, uh, you name it, it's there. So Islam brings us the solution directly or indirectly. Among the sunnahs, the textbook mentions to take a bath before the prayer. This is not a confirmed sunnah, meaning that it is not backed up by a hadith, and hence we cannot say it's sunnah. We would say that it is good, it's recommended, it's part of looking your best, but we cannot confirm that this is a sunnah. Also, wearing the perfume, this falls under part of wearing your best. Putting on fine appearance and wearing some of the one's best clothes, this is a confirmed sunnah, as the Prophet ﷺ used to do that for sure. Now, having said that, it is essential to note that a man's zina, a man's beauty, is in what is smelt and not what is applied with color, while the woman's beauty is with what is applied and not by what it is smelt. What does this mean? It means that it is not permissible for a woman to wear perfumes before going out of her home where men can find her scent, whether she's going to the masjid or she's going to a mall or she's going to visit someone. If she passes by non-mahrams, or if a non-mahram finds her perfume, a sin, and a major sin. So when a woman goes to Eid, and we see this so often, she should conceal her beauty. She's not like men who expose their finest clothes because this is what the Prophet ordered them. Women must conceal, not wear at her, or wear perfumes, or wear flashy dresses. All of this can be and is encouraged to be done in the society of segregated meetings with only women or with mahrams. But to go out in full uniform like this, exposing her beauty and luring the servants of Allah Azza wa Jal on a great day of ibadah, this is totally unacceptable. 8. It is part of the sunnah, and this is a beautiful sunnah that many Muslims have neglected, is to change the route. So if I go from one place to the musalla through a different, through a specific route, when I go back home, I should change the route so that I do not use the same route I came with. Why is that? Scholars say this is so that the people who are not attending the Eid, the enemies of Islam, for example, or the normal folks who are non-Muslims, when they see faces different than the faces they saw in the beginning of the day, they get the impression that there are so many Muslims. And this is known in Arabic as takthir sawad. If I go and attend a lecture of a deviant, percent of those attending are deviant like him. When I go there, even if I have a legitimate reason, being with them gives them momentum, gives them size. So Islam tells me don't go there. Even if you have a legitimate reason, don't give them momentum. Don't give them credibility by being with them. And likewise, when you change your route, those who saw the Muslims going in the early morning to the Salat, and then they're seeing them coming back, they're different people, different faces, different vehicles. The Muslim who went out, he greets others as well.